So I'm now chatting to the lady who's been responsible for so many interviews today, which I'm very, very grateful. Ellie, hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. You're the reason we had guests today, really.
Yeah, no, I've been running around site all day just trying to get a few volunteers for you, but I'm glad you've been booked up, so that's good.
It's good, and you said, it's all right, I don't need to talk now. We made room, it's fine. I left a 15-minute gap just in case,
Yeah,
and you're
out of it.
So just tell us, what is it you actually do for Operation Mobilisation that brought you here to Teen Street this week?
So in OM UK, I serve as a marketing officer, so I am responsible for loads of emails that go out. I'm basically a content manager, so I project manage our magazine and our prayer diary, and I oversee social media. So in order to get really good photographs and stories and testimonies and stuff, I kind of need to be at the event and where it's happening. So I've come here as a bit of a journalist, and I've been the photographer for the week. I've been rushing around all over the place trying to get as much content as possible to be able to promote Teen Street as best as I can. And
interviews for me, which we're very grateful because we'll share them with you later. So how did you start working for Operation Mobilisation? Is it a journalist background? Is it you thought, oh, that's like good? I was just chatting to your UK director who said he came for 2 weeks and that was 30 years ago. So how did you come in?
So I hadn't actually heard of OM before I actually joined, but I've always had anything design or creative, I've always been there. I have a degree in writing, so I just knew I wanted to do something creative and for God. So I went to a vineyard church and I did an internship there, and at my church is our personnel worker for OM ships, and she was like, oh, there's an opening in marketing that could really suit you. So I was like, okay, I'll have a little look and see what happens, and then a year and a half later, here I am. So it's been good fun. Yeah, I've been glad I got here.
Cool. Okay, and then the other question I've been asking people, which this is a bit I get excited about, you came into OM, you're doing the job with media and social and photos, but what's your journey of faith that made you want to work for a Christian organisation? Because it wouldn't be everybody's first choice. It clearly is yours, and it would be mine too. But what's your faith journey that brought you into wanting to work for somebody like OM?
Like most, I think, people that you've interviewed today, I grew up in a Christian background. My mum is a vicar in North Wales, so I'm a proud vicar's kid. So I've just seen service in Christian organisations and missions all my life, and I've always really admired those people that really give up their time and their energy to just serve God. And I just knew that if I could do something that can benefit the kingdom and benefit the church and help those to really just communicate God well, then I wanted to do that. I think obviously we're a growing generation, we're a growing world, and there's so much out there on social media and so much technology, and we just really need to take advantage of that and use that as a really good platform, because God is using social media and all these great things to advance his kingdom. So that's kind of what I wanted to do.
I think we get afraid of social media and technology, or we learn to embrace it in the fact, you know what, we can actually talk around the world. So as a radio station, we can reach anywhere with an internet signal, which blows my mind.
Yeah.
But actually, I've known people who say, Facebook and Instagram and X, it's a terrible place, we must never use them. And but there are people there who may not be reached any other way. That's actually where they are socialising. They don't go out to the local pub or the local dance class. Actually, that's where they spend their social time. And if we're not there, how do they hear God? So how have you found social media as a tool for the gospel?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's getting a bit of a bad rep as well at the moment. Obviously, loads of teenagers are on it and parents want them off, which is understandable. So it can be a negative place. But I think showing light of Christ in social media and building that positive community is just so incredibly important. We get so much information fed to us each day on social media and online, and so much news and everything coming into our brains. So to just really control that a little bit and put Christ in people's mindsets and a new way of living and a new freedom is just incredibly important. And I think that's a mission that's a bit overlooked and not really seen because it has this negative toxicity around it. But I think it can be really good used for the greater good. So I just think building that at one point would just be amazing, just to use that for God.
Which is the point, really, that we can either look at something and think, oh, that's terrible, that's evil, that's bad, but actually, well, God could redeem any of us and our messes, and actually, I'm not saying that social media is good or bad, that's not the point, but even if it was, God could redeem it and use it. And actually, what social media does is give us the opportunity to talk to people. I use a platform called Ding Dash, which is not huge, it's a social media network, but I've made some friends from North America and Finland and all over the world that I would never have got to talk to because we're using a type of social network that we can actually talk to each other, and Yeah, there's a bigger world out there.
Yeah, no, especially after COVID as well. Like COVID, obviously everyone connected through technology, and then I started doing some web stuff and some online things for my mum's churches during lockdown. They're quite traditional churches that don't really have that audience to engage properly. But there are so many people that were searching for just something different in lockdown and something bigger than themselves. So I just think ever since COVID, like things have advanced, and it's got, like the church has got better at using technology as well, like live streams every week now as well. So yeah, I think it was, God was still in that time, and he was still using social media for the good.
Just give us briefly one takeaway from this week for you that's going to help you. I keep asking the same question, it's becoming more formative in my mind. But what's one thing you're taking away that's going to help you on those difficult days where you're doing the same things and think, oh, this is boring, but actually important? But what's going to drive you through the next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen at Teen Street this year is to just really expect the unexpected. We have like one persona of teenagers, and we have one thought about what they're going to be like, but actually they are just like the rest of us, and they really want to find something bigger and deeper than themselves. So I think obviously like this week has been tiring and it's been work, but it's all for the glory of God, and we've always had to ground ourselves in that, and I think OM's really good at doing that as well. We do like devotions every day, and we have prayer mornings and things like that. So we are very grounded in the fact that this is for Christ and for Christ alone, and we're just servants in his ministry.
Which is a beautiful end, really.
Absolutely.
Here at Pure 24/7 Radio, we have had the privilege of speaking to some amazing people with amazing stories.
So I was already doing the work of an evangelist, and then I discovered that there was a term for it. And then I realized, well, I really wanted to learn more about the Bible and Christianity. So I went to theological college.
Most people think that my life as a marine biologist was spent riding on the back of a dolphin into the sunset.
That's my view.
Yeah, I did that never.
Been on the road 35 years, man and boy, doing magic and comedy to communicate the gospel. When I started off in '88, I was doing escapology. I kind of took that on from a friend of mine called Pete Gilbert, who was a real pioneer in creative communication.
If you have missed any of these interviews or would like to hear them again, you can. Simply head over to our catch-up section at www.pure247radio.org. That's www.pure247radio.org.